afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining me here today. I want to take a few minutes to update you on video lottery terminals, VLTs, in St. Louis County. Earlier this month, a federal judge issued a ruling that VLTs were considered illegal gambling devices when played outside of a casino in Missouri. Soon after that, I signed an executive order directing our Department of Revenue to inform everyone who had a liquor license in St. Louis County about this ruling. My update to you today is that 400 of those letters have been sent to liquor license holders, and they've been informed of the judge's ruling, and that VLTs are illegal and cannot be in the presence of in a business that has a liquor license. St. Louis County also has an ordinance already that states that businesses will not be granted or will have a liquor license renewed if they have illegal gambling on their premises. That definition now includes VLTs. Businesses who violate the liquor license ordinance are at risk of having their liquor license suspended or revoked. The second update is that later this week I'll be asking the St. Louis County Council for additional funding to fund 2 new positions in the Department of Revenue for inspectors to enforce the liquor license regulations and have these inspectors investigate the complaints that are coming into St. Louis County about VLTs. We'd also like to take a proactive approach and send these inspectors into convenience stores, gas stations, and other places that have a liquor license to make sure that they don't have VLTs on their premises or that they're not operational in the presence where liquor is sold. We expect that some of our liquor license holders will remove them immediately. Some may need some reminders through the mail or otherwise, and there will be some who wait to see if they can fly under the radar and continue as they are now. That group will need to receive a visit from our inspectors to help them understand. While the County Council is determining whether or not they'll fund these 2 new positions, we will use inspectors from our Code Enforcement Division and Problem Properties, and they have helped the Department of Revenue in the past on liquor license enforcement. Our liquor license application has also been updated, and people who are applying for a new liquor license or renewal will have to attest that they don't have any illegal gambling, including VLTs, on their premises. These devices have been debated for a long time in Missouri. It is really not clear why they don't, where they aren't taxed or regulated like gambling devices that are found in casinos. When VLTs aren't taxed like regular gambling devices, then revenue is diverted from important services like education and infrastructure, public safety, and healthcare. The judge's ruling follows an announcement from the Attorney General that she is cooperating with the federal government, with federal agencies, including the FBI and the IRS, investigating VLTs. Last week, the Attorney General also announced that her office will be supporting local prosecuting attorneys who are pursuing the enforcement of the gambling law in Missouri with VLTs. VLTs are considered addictive gambling devices. They're often placed in locations where liquor is sold. We'll continue to work with our partners in St. Louis County to make sure that the revenue from these illegal devices does not continue to flow to where it's not captured through taxes and recognized to be available for our important resources in Missouri: public education, infrastructure, healthcare, and public safety. Thanks for joining us here today. Thanks for helping us get the word out that VLTs are not allowed where a liquor license is held in St. Louis County, and this applies to the unincorporated areas of St. Louis County, and I would be glad to answer any questions.
How much will the new inspectors cost the county, roughly?
This will be a little over $200,000. I'll have to go back and look at that letter.
I assume that would be their salaries, benefits, et cetera.
Salaries and benefits.
Okay, about 200,000. Okay, thank you.
Dr. Page, what does enforcement look like outside of not renewing the liquor license? Will they go in and confiscate these machines? Will they
No,
fine
we St. Louis County does not have jurisdiction over the gambling devices. We have jurisdiction over liquor license, and the law says a liquor license can't, you can't have a liquor license in the presence of illegal gambling. That's common in state law, that's common in local ordinances, and that's one of the foundations of our liquor license in St. Louis County, including restrictions on hours and that sort of thing. The liquor license is at risk of being revoked or suspended if illegal gambling devices are present at the establishment.
Given the budget constraints you're under now, and the county generally is under, why spend this money at this time? Why is this important enough to do?
Well, the enforcement of our liquor license is an important part of what we do in local government. It's just as important as anything else we do in enforcement of any other regulations. We've lost the liquor license inspectors over the years because of budget cuts. We've been getting along with sharing our code enforcement inspectors.
So you don't have any now? You don't have any? I didn't realize that, okay.
Yeah, and we should. It's an important part of county government. If we issue a liquor license, we should have someone who would go out and check and make sure the rules are being followed.
How many years ago
I don't know.
has it been? I mean, we took several years?
I don't know when the liquor license inspectors were dropped off of the Department of Revenue, but we've had a lot of cuts in the Department of Revenue over the years. A lot of cuts.
Okay.
I was gonna ask that, how many are you?
2. I'm asking for 2 people.
No, the cuts, more recently, like, do you have a number, what you're down to?
I don't understand your question.
In other words, in the revenue department, you need these 2 new people to,
Right, in the Revenue Department, we currently don't have inspectors to enforce the liquor license.
right, but I mean, in the revenue department, how short are you?
I can't, Murray, I'll have to follow with Doug. I don't know about our
Okay.
staffing in the Department of Revenue. I know we face significant cuts that we're struggling to even get the bills that we receive for people paying their taxes. We're struggling to get them opened and processed promptly because of the cuts. We're struggling to get the senior tax freeze applications processed because of staffing cuts. And we've asked people to work overtime, and because of those cuts to the Department of Revenue, we've had to reduce county operating hours and close early at 3:30, and we just started doing that a couple of weeks ago. So people have time to catch up with their work by the end of the day, and then we don't have to pay overtime after 5 for them to finish up the work.
Well, why is this a priority? I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but I mean, why choose this as a priority versus all this
Well,
other
you know, our
stuff?
number 1 priority in St. Louis County is public safety, public health, and making sure county government runs smoothly. Enforcement of our liquor license laws, discouraging illegal gambling in the presence of liquor license. That's a value of our community, and that's a priority of my administration.
How many businesses in total are going to be impacted? Do you have a number for that? You said 400 letters have been sent out, but what is the estimate of numbers?
So the question is how many businesses would be impacted. There are 400 businesses that have registered to get a liquor license from St. Louis County. Some of those businesses have multiple locations, so there could be over 1,000. I don't have that exact number, or closer to 2,000 in unincorporated St. Louis County liquor license, but there are 400 businesses that have registered with St. Louis County to apply for a liquor license.
Doctor, do they have to renew after?
Yes, every year. Liquor license are renewed yearly.
You mentioned you're gonna, in the meantime, before the council, if it does appropriate this money, you're gonna have other inspectors do this work. Have they started already, or?
So what the Department of Revenue has been doing for inspectors is they borrow from code enforcement inspectors from the Department of Public Works. And that's what we'll have to do until we have people back in the Department of Revenue.
But that hasn't started yet. You're going.
No, we haven't started yet.
Okay.
The first thing we're gonna do is alert people by letter and then by email, and continue our communication and allow voluntary compliance, because most people who operate in St. Louis County want to follow the rules, and we want to give them a chance to do that.
Anecdotally, do you know yet whether any have yanked the machines out or turned them on?
I don't know if anybody's removed their machines. We've certainly had some complaints to St. Louis County that they have people have been reporting them.
Dr. Page, with the AG's office, can they provide any assistance with this as far as going in and inspecting the facilities?
The Attorney General's office has determined from their public statements that they are enforcing the gambling laws in the state of Missouri. They believe VLTs are illegal, and they've started actions all over the state to enforce the gambling laws. We don't enforce gambling laws. We, in St. Louis County, we provide public safety services. We have a police department. We run a jail. We provide business licenses and rules for those business licenses. It's a standard practice in the state of Missouri to not allow illegal gambling where liquor is sold. There's a state law that pertains to that. There's a county ordinance that pertains to that. Liquor licenses are issued through St. Louis County and unincorporated St. Louis County, and they are required by law to not have illegal gambling devices there where they have a liquor license, and we're getting the word out. Any other questions? Okay.
Thanks,
thank
sir.
you.